Welcome to today's journey of mindfulness and spiritual discovery. In a world that moves faster every day, it's easy to lose sight of the small, simple things that can bring us balance and clarity. Today, we're diving into a practice rooted in ancient wisdom, the Zen ritual of placing salt in your shoes. This simple act can be a powerful reminder to stay grounded, to slow down, and to reconnect with the earth. As we explore the deeper meanings behind this ritual, you'll learn how it not only enhances your mindfulness, but also helps you navigate the chaos of modern life with grace and intention. If you're ready to transform your ordinary moments into profound experiences of peace, stick around, and let's discover the true power of salt together. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you insights that inspire, enlighten, and guide you toward a more mindful life. And, as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below, and let us know how you practice mindfulness in your own life. The ancient significance of salt. Salt, in its various forms, has been revered and utilized by numerous cultures throughout history. Its importance transcends mere functionality, elevating it to the status of a sacred substance in many traditions. Whether for preservation, purification, or symbolic value, salt has served as a powerful medium for both practical and spiritual purposes. To fully appreciate its depth, we must explore its role across different cultures, and then narrow our focus to its profound significance in Zen practice. Salt in ancient civilizations. In ancient Egypt, salt held an indispensable role in the preservation of life, particularly in the mummification process. This practice, central to the Egyptian understanding of death and the afterlife, was built on the belief that salt, through its absorptive properties, could prevent decay and protect the body's spiritual essence. It was not just the physical body that needed to be preserved, but the soul, which was believed to journey through the afterlife. Salt was thought to act as a barrier against the forces of decomposition, ensuring that both the body and spirit could endure the trials of the journey. In ancient Rome, salt was regarded as a symbol of wisdom and purification. It was integral to many rituals, particularly those involving baptism. Just as the early Christians used salt in baptismal rites as a means of purging sin, the Romans saw salt as a purifier that cleansed both the body and spirit. Its connection to wisdom was seen in the adage sal sapientiae, salt of wisdom, implying that the virtues of wisdom and clarity were akin to the purifying effects of salt. In these cultures, salt was not simply seen as an essential commodity, but as a sacred tool capable of elevating human experience. In Japan, salt's sacred role extends through its usage in Shinto rituals. Salt is often sprinkled at the entrance to temples and sacred spaces to purify the area. This practice is not only physical, but also deeply spiritual. The act of purifying the space with salt serves as a symbolic gesture to cleanse the environment of negative energy, making it a space conducive to divine presence. For those who enter, this sprinkling of salt becomes a moment of purification, a reminder to leave behind the distractions and impurities of the outside world and enter a state of spiritual awareness. Salt in this context is a threshold marker, separating the mundane from the sacred, the profane from the divine. Salt in Zen practice. While the historical uses of salt in various cultures are significant, its role in Zen Buddhism offers a unique perspective, one that aligns with the core principles of Zen practice: mindfulness, simplicity, and intentionality. In Zen, the act of sprinkling salt is not just about cleansing a physical space or body. It is about preparing the mind and spirit for meditation, mindfulness, and reflection. Salt, in Zen practice, becomes a ritual tool for spiritual purification, helping practitioners shed the impurities of the world and create space for inner clarity. The ritual of sprinkling salt, often seen in traditional Zen temples, serves as a physical manifestation of mental and spiritual intention. By consciously performing this simple task, the practitioner engages in a form of ritual purification, not only of the space but also of the mind. This ritual is a symbolic shedding of distractions, ego, and worldly concerns. In Zen, purity is not merely the absence of dirt or physical contaminants, but the absence of mental clutter, thoughts, emotions, and desires that hinder the experience of clarity and mindfulness. The use of salt in this context is a gentle reminder that in order to prepare for meditation, one must first clear the mental clutter that often accumulates throughout the day. Salt in Zen is both literal and metaphorical, cleansing the mind of distractions just as it cleanses a surface. Through this simple act, Zen practitioners engage in the practice of beginner's mind, a term coined by Shunryu Suzuki in his seminal work Zen Mind. Beginner's mind. Beginner's mind refers to the openness and receptivity of a beginner, free from preconceived notions and judgments. Salt, in this context, symbolizes the fresh, clear slate required to experience each moment as it is, uncolored by past experiences, biases, or distractions. The simplicity of the salt ritual aligns with the Zen principle of Shoshin, the cultivation of an open, fresh, and receptive mind. Zen emphasizes that spiritual growth does not always require grand gestures or complex practices. Instead, it often arises from small, mindful actions that center the practitioner in the present moment. Salt, used in such rituals, represents this simplicity and intention. It is a means of returning to a state of mindfulness, of being present without attachment to the past or worries about the future. Personal insight, the power of simple rituals. Reflecting on this practice, I often think about the profound impact of simple rituals in daily life. In our fast-paced world, we tend to search for complex answers to life's many problems. We become overwhelmed by the noise and demands of daily existence, and often feel lost in the chaos. Yet, Zen wisdom teaches us that the most profound transformations come from small, intentional acts that allow us to reconnect with our true selves. Salt in your shoes, for example, is not just a practical action, it becomes a symbolic one. The simple act of placing salt in your shoes can be a ritual of mindfulness, a moment where you pause and realign your intention for the day. It is not about perfection or achieving some grand spiritual goal. It is about being present in that simple moment, using salt as a tool to clear the mind and ground the body. The practice teaches us that life's answers often lie not in grandiose efforts, but in the quiet moments of reflection and intentionality. By incorporating small rituals like this into daily life, we create space for mindfulness. The act itself is a reminder that true peace does not require complex solutions or drastic changes. It can be found in the simplest of actions. In Zen, simplicity is not about doing less. It's about doing what you do with complete awareness and intention. The sprinkling of salt is just one example of how Zen encourages us to approach life with mindful awareness, to cleanse our minds of distractions, and to open ourselves to the present moment. It's a practice that can easily be integrated into modern life, offering a grounding touchstone amid the whirlwind of daily activities. In conclusion, salt, both in historical and spiritual contexts, is far more than a mere substance. Its significance across cultures and its deeper meaning in Zen reflect a universal truth. Purification, intention, and mindfulness are essential to both spiritual and practical life, whether used in rituals, as a preservative, or as a tool for spiritual cleansing. Salt serves as a powerful reminder that simple actions, done with intention, can lead to profound changes in the way we experience and engage with the world, just as salt clears impurities from a surface or a space. It can clear the mind of distractions, creating room for clarity. And mindfulness, this symbolic act, whether it involves sprinkling salt on the floor or placing it in your shoes, reminds us to slow down, be present, and approach life with a clear, grounded mind. The science behind salt. Salt is not just symbolic. It also has practical uses in everyday life. Its ability to absorb moisture is why it has been used for centuries in food preservation. Salt draws moisture out from bacteria, dehydrating them and killing them, making it a natural preservative. The use of salt as a preservative goes beyond protecting food from bacteria. It also illustrates how salt can preserve the purity of material things from decay. Salt and its moisture-absorbing power. Salt, in its physical nature, is a powerful moisture-absorbing substance. This principle has been applied not only in food preservation, but also in many other aspects of life. For instance, when salt is placed in shoes, it helps keep the interior dry, which is especially useful on rainy days. By absorbing moisture, salt reduces odors, prevents the growth of bacteria, and helps maintain the shoes in good condition. However, despite its obvious benefits, salt also has some drawbacks when not used properly. If left unchecked in shoes for an extended period, salt can irritate the skin and even damage leather or other shoe materials. Excessive salt, when not controlled, can lead to unwanted consequences, damaging precious items. This brings an important lesson about balance in life. While salt can protect us from bacteria and moisture, it needs to be used in moderation and with awareness to avoid adverse effects. The importance of balance in Zen practice. Moderation and mindfulness are two crucial factors in Zen practice. Salt, with its ability to protect and purify, can be a metaphor for maintaining balance in the mind and actions. In Zen, there is no room for extremes. Zen practice is not about doing things to the extreme or trying to achieve great results, but rather about finding harmony and awareness in the smallest actions of daily life. Just as salt, when used in the right amounts, can protect, too much of anything in life can have negative consequences. Our approach should not be about excess or deprivation, but about finding balance, a middle path, much like the Zen principle of avoiding extremes. How we handle salt in our lives is a reflection of how we approach the rest of our life, with care and mindfulness. Personal insight, the deep impact of simple things. Sometimes, we focus too much on the practical benefits of something and overlook its deeper impact. When we face challenges in life, we often look for complex solutions, big changes, or grand answers. But Zen teaches us that the most profound transformations come from simple, intentional actions. Putting salt in your shoes is not just a physical action to protect your shoes. It's a deep lesson about maintaining mindfulness and intention in our lives. The importance of small actions in Zen is often not immediately apparent. But these simple practices can bring about significant changes in the way we live. For example, when you start your day with a simple action like putting salt in your shoes, can be a moment of mindfulness, an opportunity to reset your mind before the challenges of the day. In Zen, the lesson is not about rushing through life, but about slowing down, paying attention, and cultivating clarity in every moment. Salt and the importance of balance in Zen. In Zen, maintaining balance in all aspects of life is a fundamental principle. Salt is not just a preservative or purifier, it is also a symbol of maintaining balance in the mind and life. When salt is used in Zen rituals, it serves as a reminder that we need to practice mindfulness in all things. Too little salt will not provide the protection we need, while too much salt can cause harm. Similarly, in Zen, we do not seek extremes, but moderation, finding harmony between internal and external elements in our lives. the control of the amount of salt in your shoes, and in other areas of life, is akin to controlling our emotions and thoughts during meditation. Zen is not about eliminating everything, but about learning how to master and regulate what affects us. Too many negative thoughts or emotions can obstruct our ability to stay present, just as too much salt can hinder our comfort. Zen helps us learn to regulate, much like we regulate the amount of salt in our shoes, so that life becomes easier and more balanced. Salt as a symbol of grounding. Imagine you are walking, with each step firmly grounded in the earth beneath you. Salt, in its crystalline form, is both a literal and metaphorical connection to the planet. It reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. In Zen, grounding is essential. Salt in your shoes can serve as a reminder of your connection to the earth, a way to stay anchored amidst the rush of life. When we are grounded, we are more present. We can become more mindful of our actions, thoughts, and emotions. This simple practice can help us cultivate inner peace and harmony in our lives. Grounding and Zen, learning to live mindfully. This grounding aspect of salt reminds me of the importance of being mindful in the small moments. We often seek big life changes or significant achievements to feel fulfilled, but true peace can come from simply being present in the now, walking with intention, feeling the ground beneath your feet, and being aware of the present moment. That is where true mindfulness resides. This practice does not require a dramatic shift in life, but rather a shift in how we approach life. Like salt, a simple substance, when used correctly, can have a profound effect. Practicing mindfulness through small actions in everyday life is the first step to finding peace and clarity in our minds. Bringing salt into your modern life. In the context of today's world, where everything is fast-paced and chaotic, the search for balance is more relevant than ever. Many people struggle to find peace amidst the constant rush, whether it's the pressure of work, social obligations, or simply the overwhelming volume of information we consume daily. It often feels as though we are being swept along in the current of life without the ability to pause, reflect, or find inner peace. Yet, the Zen practice of placing salt in your shoes offers a profound yet simple method to reconnect with the earth, your body, and your mind in the midst of this chaos. In modern society, it is easy to believe that balance requires major changes, grand gestures, or time-consuming rituals. But Zen teachings consistently emphasize that profound transformation can emerge from small, everyday actions. The practice of placing salt in your shoes is a perfect example of this. It's a ritual that doesn't demand anything extra from you, but invites you to bring mindfulness into the ordinary moments of your day, finding intentionality in the smallest acts. Imagine this: the first thing you do when you wake up, before your mind gets cluttered with tasks, emails, or worries about the day ahead, is placing a pinch of salt in your shoes. This small act, seemingly insignificant, is actually a powerful gesture of intention. The salt is not just a practical means of keeping moisture out of your shoes. It becomes a symbol of your commitment to approach the day with mindfulness, balance, and a sense of groundedness. When you place salt in your shoes, you're also mentally preparing yourself for what lies ahead. You're signaling to yourself that, while the world may move quickly around you, you are choosing to move with purpose. This simple act can serve as a centering tool, a reminder that the pace of life does not have to dictate your inner state. By introducing salt into your morning routine, you begin your day with awareness, setting the tone for the rest of it. It's a ritual that provides a moment of pause before you step into the often chaotic flow of life. Salt as a ritual of grounding. In Zen, rituals are not about formality or dogma. They are about cultivating awareness, being present, and engaging with the world in a conscious way. The ritual of placing salt in your shoes is deeply rooted in grounding. Grounding, both physically and mentally, is a cornerstone of Zen practice. When we are grounded, we are less likely to be carried away by the stress and distractions of the outside world. We can remain steady, even when things around us are constantly shifting. When you place salt in your shoes, you literally connect with the earth. This small, seemingly trivial action is a tangible reminder that you are walking on the earth, a part of something much larger than yourself. Salt, as a symbol of connection to the earth, brings you back to this fundamental truth that we are all part of nature, and that our actions, however small, ripple outward. This reminder allows you to carry with you throughout your day a sense of stability, a connection to the earth that helps you stay rooted even in the midst of chaos. Just as walking with salt in your shoes physically grounds you, can also metaphorically ground your mind. It serves as a mindful anchor, allowing you to return to balance and clarity when your thoughts become scattered or overwhelmed. The practice encourages you to slow down, to pay attention to each step, and to become aware of how the earth supports you with every movement you make. This process transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, as you find moments of peace and mindfulness amid your daily routine. Mindfulness in the midst of chaos, in the fast-paced, often unpredictable flow of daily life. It's easy to forget to check in with ourselves. The world constantly demands our attention, pulling us in countless directions. We rush through our days, ticking off tasks, and following a never-ending to-do list. But the act of placing salt in your shoes forces a pause, however brief, before you engage with the world. In this moment of pause, you can choose to step back and check in with your body, your mind, and your intentions. By starting your day with this small, mindful gesture, you allow yourself the opportunity to return to balance when life gets chaotic. Whether you're dealing with a difficult workday, a stressful situation, or emotional turbulence, this simple ritual can serve as a reminder that you have the power to bring yourself back to the present moment. In Zen, mindfulness is not reserved for special moments of meditation or quiet reflection. It is meant to be integrated into every aspect of life. The placement of salt in your shoes is a way of turning the ordinary, something as simple as getting dressed, into an opportunity to practice mindfulness. Moreover, this practice helps cultivate a deeper understanding of impermanence, a central concept in Buddhism and Zen. Just as salt dissolves and is absorbed, it serves as a reminder that the conditions of our lives, both internal and external, are constantly changing. The intention behind placing salt in your shoes each day is to recognize that, while life may be unpredictable and at times overwhelming, we have the capacity to remain grounded, steady, and present in each moment, bringing ancient wisdom into modern life. One of the challenges we face today is that much of the ancient wisdom that has been passed down through generations often feels disconnected from the demands of modern life. We may admire Zen teachings and Buddhist practices, but we often struggle to integrate them into our busy, technology-driven existence. The beauty of the ritual of placing salt in your shoes is that it is both timeless and practical. It doesn't require a major lifestyle change or the abandonment of modern conveniences. Instead, it invites you to integrate a small, meaningful practice into your daily routine. Incorporating this ritual into your life requires no extra time or energy. It simply asks you to slow down for a moment and be intentional with your actions. This simple act of grounding through salt is a bridge between the ancient and the modern. It allows us to honor the wisdom of the past while making it relevant to the present. By adopting practices like these, we can create a sense of balance and mindfulness without needing to overhaul our lives or retreat to a remote monastery. This is where Zen wisdom truly shines in our modern world. It provides us with tools to live in the present moment, to to be mindful in our everyday tasks, and to find peace even amidst the noise. Salt in your shoes is a beautiful reminder that balance does not require grand gestures but rather small, deliberate steps toward mindfulness. Personal insight, transforming ordinary moments into extraordinary practices. There's a quiet power in taking ordinary moments and turning them into opportunities for mindfulness. Whether it's the simple act of placing salt in your shoes or taking a few deep breaths before responding to a stressful email, these small actions are what ultimately shape our lives. They remind us that spirituality and mindfulness don't have to be separate from the rest of our daily existence. Instead, they can be integrated into every moment, making the ordinary extraordinary. In the midst of our busy lives, it is easy to overlook the profound potential of simple practices. But Zen teaches us that profound transformation is not always about grand, dramatic changes. It's about finding the extraordinary in the mundane. Salt in your shoes is a simple reminder that even the most basic actions can carry deep meaning when performed with intention and mindfulness. And through such practices, we can find grounding, balance, and peace no matter where life takes us. By embracing the practice of placing salt in your shoes, you can begin to create a space for mindfulness in the everyday. Whether it's a ritual to mark the beginning of your day, a tool for grounding during stressful moments, or a reminder to stay present, this small act offers a powerful way to live with greater intention. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, taking time for such rituals can help you navigate the challenges of modern life with a clear mind and a balanced heart. And there you have it. The Zen practice of placing salt in your shoes isn't just a simple ritual. It's a gateway to mindfulness, grounding, and intentional living. Whether you're stepping into your day or pausing to reconnect with the present moment, this practice offers a powerful way to bring balance and clarity into your life. Remember, true transformation happens not through grand gestures, but through the small, meaningful actions we choose to incorporate into our daily routines. By bringing this ancient practice into your modern life, you can stay connected to the earth, find peace amidst the chaos, and cultivate mindfulness wherever you go. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and it helps spread this powerful message of balance and mindfulness. Don't forget to comment below, let us know your thoughts, and share how you plan to incorporate this practice into your life. Thank you for being part of our community. May your steps be grounded, and may you find peace in every moment. See you in the next video.